Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at the new Adeptus Mechanicus detachment from the Grotmas calendar. Yay, so we've got another Grotmas calendar and entry, and it's going to be the Adeptus Mechanicus. We also have a helmet. Helmet up there, which is looking pretty cool. So yeah, the Grotmas. So it's called basically the Nanosphere Transference. So as most people play 2,000 point games, you're going to be able to pick 2 units, and essentially what that is going to allow you to do is pick 2 units. They can also be in transports, and then they get given a new keyword called the Halo Override, which is kind of cool. And from your until your next command phase, they're able to pick one of the 4 abilities essentially. So you can get +2 to your movement, you can get +1 toughness, you'll be able to eligible to charge even if you run. Running charge is always good, or you're able to get stealth. Now what's really kind of cool with this is they can also be units that are in transports. Now one thing that I would be interested to see if this gets FAQ'd, or if anyone has a better answer to it, is if I pick a unit inside a transport, can I give that transport run and charge? And does that transport also get eligible to the +2 movement and everything else? Now I would assume that would be a yes, but pretty sure people a little bit more savvy at 40k rules will be able to answer that in the comments. So you've got a couple of enhancements. Now, I will just say quickly that I'm not a massive nerd and lore expert when it comes to the Ad Mech. I'm not really too sure. So there are some things in here that I'm not too sure what it is. So, but you know, if you know, you know. So first things first, you've got the Dyad Wafer for 30 points. This is for a cybernetic datasmith model only. When the bearer is attached to a Castellan robots unit until the end of the battle, models in that unit have the Doctrine Imperativus ability and gain the Halo Override keyword. Kind of cool. This unit cannot be selected when selecting as part of the Nanosphere Transference detachment rule. So basically you can pay 30 points and get this character model and that unit to have the override keyword, and then still have 2 options for the detachment, so you kind of have 3 units, which is kind of cool. The cognitive reinforcement for 35 points, models only including the cybernetic datasmith model. The Conquer Imperative and the Protective Imperative are both active for the bearers. Now I'm not too sure what these are, so I'm not really going to comment too much on it, but having 2 abilities from the Codex I assume is pretty good. Sanctified Ordnance for 10 points. Basically, Ad Mech Mechanicus model only. You get to add 6 inches to the range characteristic for range weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit. And each time a hazardous test is taken for that unit, you can re-roll the result. I can imagine this is going to be probably really good for a unit of, say, destroyers, those like tracked units with the big guns. That's kind of cool. And then the Inland Lethality for 15 points, Tech Priest Dominus or the Tech Priest Manipulus model only. Add 3 to the attack characteristics of the bearer's melee weapons and add 1 to the damage characteristic of the bearer's melee weapon. I'm not really sort of often see Ad Mech as a close combat army, but to have a 15 point upgrade to essentially give you 3 attacks and +1 damage, it's kind of cool. I could see that being like one of those electro priests kind of guys. That must be kind of cool, but yeah, pretty cool. So we got a lot of 1 CP stratagems, which is quite nice to see. So eradication protocols in your shooting phase. 1 Adeptus Mechanicus unit from your army has been selected to shoot or fight this turn. Essentially, you can, until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, you can re-roll wound rolls of 1, and if you've got the override keyword, you get to also re-roll hit rolls of 1, which is kind of nice. Targeting override again for 1 CP. Your shooting phase or fight phase, 1 Adeptus Mechanicus unit from your army that has been selected to shoot or fight this phase until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes an attack, on a modified hit roll of 5+ scores a critical. So if you've got any units that have devastating wounds, you're going to be wanting to play this, and you're basically going to get dev wounds on a 5+, which is really quite nice. Neural Overload, this is a pretty cool one, and it also has a little bit of a negativity to it. So in your movement phase, you select a 1 Adeptus Mechanicus unit from your army. If the unit is a Halo Override unit, it suffers D3 mortal wounds, and then you select 1 override ability, and until the start of your next command phase, that ability is active for the unit. So basically, you can stack multiples of these rules, these abilities onto a unit, and you can get multiple in play. Now, it does state that in the little designer's notes in the bottom that this means that the target is the unit already has the override keyword. It can be affected by multiple override abilities at the same time, but suffers mortal wounds to do so. Alternatively, if it does not have the keyword, you can give it the keyword until your next command phase, but it doesn't get affected by any other of those abilities. So you can kind of 1 CP give yourself the override keyword to a unit that hasn't yet got it, which is kind of quite nice, especially if you want to maybe, you know, look at running and charging when you think, oh, you know what, I actually need to get this unit up to run a little bit more, and then I want to get that charge in, and you didn't necessarily pick them in your command phase. So gives you a couple of options there, which is kind of quite nice. Then you've got Aggressive Impulse, so your movement phase on a Scopus Dune Rider model from your army that has been selected to move this phase. Till the end of the turn, each time an Adeptus Mechanicus unit disembarks from that model after it has made a normal move, that unit is still eligible to charge this turn. That's kind of cool because you normally can't do that. That's kind of cool. Guided Retreat, your model's movement phase after you just after an Adeptus Mechanicus unit from your army makes a fallback move. The target is an Adeptus Mechanicus unit. Until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it falls back. And if it has the override keyword, it can re-roll Desperate Escape Test taken for it, which is solid. I mean, again, we've kind of seen a sort of bit of a trend here where some of these abilities that are kind of mainstay for the Marine armies are now sort of flowing into the other armies as well, which is kind of cool. And then finally you got Analytical Divination, so your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit ends a normal advance or fallback move. Adeptus Mechanicus infantry unit, excluding the Cataphren units. I think they're the big robots from your army that is within 9 inches of an enemy unit and not within engagement range. Basically, you get to make a D6 move if you're within 9 inches, and if you have the override keyword, you get to automatically move 6, which is pretty solid. So that is essentially the Adeptus Mechanicus. Tomorrow is going to be the Necrons. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what the Necrons get. I don't really know too much about the Ad Mech. Some really cool models. I've always seen them as an army that's quite complex and is kind of off-putting. Plus, it's not power armor or Space Marines, so I'm not really interested. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to some meaty armies. It seems to be following a trend: Imperium, Chaos, Xenos. So we had Chaos yesterday. We're now back to Imperium. We're going to Xenos tomorrow. So Monday we should get a Chaos army, and then Tuesday back to Imperium, if that's how the trend continues to roll out. So hopefully we'll see something like World Eaters on Monday, or even maybe normal Chaos Space Marines. Be interested to see what they get. But yeah, definitely super excited about the Blood Angels one. Would like to see what they get, and normal generic Space Marines as well, because Space Marines kind of need something, because obviously Gladius Strike Force is so strong, and that's basically what a lot of Marine players use. It's quite versatile. But yeah, so as for the channel, as you can see, the bolt rifle at the top is just drying. It's upside down. The helmet is built, just need to start getting it all sanded and everything else, and then the bolt pistols at the top. So everything is slowly starting to fall into place where it is. Kind of happy with the camera being there. But yeah, and obviously the camera here would maybe moving, but may need a longer lead, so it's maybe moving over to here. But we're going to be tweaking with that, and then hopefully I'm going to get back to doing some more painting tutorials, and also maybe getting back to doing some afternoon live streaming with some painting, like I used to do on Twitch, which could be fun to do. But yeah, all in all, it's kind of cool. Still looking forward to the 25th of December, obviously the big reveal. What are we going to get? The big rumor is that it's going to be the Emperor's Children. Personally, I think that's going to be, we're going to get to see one model. I don't think we're going to see an army box. I don't think we're going to see anything like that. I think we're going to get a one model. They kind of did the same thing with the World Eaters. They kind of showed a model off, and that was it. And it was like a berserker. And then it wasn't for quite a while, good couple of months afterwards, that we started seeing everything else that was actually coming for them. So I feel that we'll probably see a Noise Marine on Christmas Day, and then probably March time we'll get the full announcement of the actual army coming out, the army box, the Fulgrim, Lucius Eternal. I might do a separate video on what I've heard is coming for the Emperor's Children, maybe tomorrow, and fire that out over the weekend. There is some interesting stuff. I don't normally like doing rumor videos, but this one is kind of interesting because I'm actually really looking forward to it. And I'm kind of been holding off wanting to redo Chaos for 40k for quite some time, because of the Emperor's Children are so close. If they weren't, then I would definitely probably just jump back into World Eaters, to be completely honest. But yeah, but that's the video. If you like what I do, please like, subscribe, share, and all of that good stuff. And I'll be back tomorrow for another one. We'll be looking at the Necrons, but I'm also going to have the videos for everything else that has also come for the Grotmas. So the 3 ones that I missed will be also out. And then at the weekend, we'll probably have a little look at some rumours for Emperor's Children. Should be quite interesting, okay? And I'll catch everyone later. Goodbye for now.